It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I am excited that you are here, my friends, because we are doing another jazz fusion episode, and I'm pumped to get into this music. Last month we did some Romantic Warrior from Return to Forever, and a bunch of folks said, yeah, this is the type of music that we would like you to do more of, Doug. We would love just one jazz fusion episode a month, if you don't mind. Well, it's now the next month. It's January, and at least this far, we are holding to that. And so today, it's a jazz fusion episode, and we're going to be looking at music from the Mahavishnu Orchestra. Specifically, it's a live performance that features two of their classic songs, Meeting of the Spirits and You Know, You Know. So I have never reacted to this band here on the YouTube channel before, but I have reacted to their entire debut album, The Intermounting Flame, in late August of last year, of 2022, for my Patreon community. And as I recorded that reaction, I had access to a musical score, which was quite beneficial because their music is pretty darn intricate. And so it was great to get a sense of the voicings and to be able to see visually what they were doing with their music, which takes inspiration from a whole slew of different types of music, from jazz, from rock and roll, world music, classical music from the Western world, as well as Indian classical music, the blues, and whatever else you can think of, right? They seem to have a really great cohesion of a lot of these different styles in their sounds. And so both of these songs, Meeting of the Spirits and You Know, You Know, are included on that landmark album that I have heard. It was August of 1971 when that was released, and I was amazed at my previous read-in and again today, just to be refamiliarized with this, with just how fast everything happened for this particular band. John McLaughlin had been a member of Miles Davis's band, and he was eager at this point in his career to form his own ensemble and feature his own compositions. And so the musicians that we have here were assembled in July of 1971, and they rehearsed for about a week. And then they did a few gigs around New York for a couple of weeks, and then they went into the studio and recorded their album. And by November of the same year, not only did they have a contract with Columbia Records, but they had a finished album that was released and distributed and climbing to number 11 on the Billboard Jazz charts. It's quite a feat. I also found interesting the name Mahavishnu itself. It comes from an Indian guru named Sri Chinmoy, who McLaughlin was following at that time. And this name, Mahavishnu, was given as a nickname to John. And Maha means great in Sanskrit, and then Vishnu is the name of one of the primary Hindu deities, from what I read, and it's a nickname that still sticks with John to this day. So, like I said, y'all, I have heard the entire album, but it's been about 5 months since I listened to any of this, and today we're going to be going to a live performance that the band gave on the BBC in an appearance in 1972, so just in the months following the release of this album. And it's been some months since I've heard this, so I need to get reacquainted with it, and I'm eager to do that now. So we've got John McLaughlin on guitar, Jan Hammer is on the keyboards, Jerry Goodman is on the violin, Rick Laird is on the bass, and Billy Cobham is on the drums. So let's take a look at Meeting of the Spirits and You Know, You Know from the Mahavishnu Orchestra. Off we go. I remember these odd voicings, these odd chords that start the entire album. They're bichords. There's John wearing what I think is a reject costume from a Star Trek episode. There's Billy showing his guns. Rick Laird sees the other table getting their food before he is getting his. He's pretty upset about it. Sorry. And who else? There's Jan. I don't know. I need to get that shirt. And Jerry is just fiddling away. Okay. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Remember, it's an F sharp minor 7 arpeggio. Dum, and the bass moves up from F sharp to G, then back. It's a Phrygian second. It's a repetitive structure that allows for soloing over the top of it. As I recall, they had a spot for the guitar to solo and the keyboard and the violin as well. But if I recall, the violin solo was at the end of the song, but they're going right to it here. Gives me a bit of King Crimson in the way that this intricate little guitar motive just keeps repeating over and over and over again, that allows for really fascinating improvisation over the top of it. And this is faster than it is on the album. They're switching to You Know already. That's earlier than I thought. But yeah, that's the You Know tune. Okay, so I'm thankful to the band for putting that groove in there. Now I remember how this goes. It's in 4/4, but this riff starts on an upbeat and ends on an upbeat. Like you think that's the downbeat, but it's not. I wouldn't have remembered that unless there was a big hit right after that when they first played it that reminded me of how that rhythm metrically works. They cut short Meeting of the Spirits to get to this. I wonder if they'll go back to it and kind of hide this song in the middle of the other one. So interesting, isn't it? It's so simple, but the groove of it is offset by an eighth note, which makes it elusive. You never feel like you're quite settled, you know? And the repetition of this reminds me of the influences from Indian classical music, from these ragas, right? These repetitive tunes that can be used for meditation. And this could be quite meditative, right? It's not overplayed, right? You can really hear everything that's happening. It was relatively easy for them to make the transition from the previous song, Meeting of the Spirits, to You Know, because both of these songs use the exact same collection of pitches. They're in different keys, but they use the same collection of pitches. The first one was in F sharp, right? F sharp Phrygian. This one's in E Dorian. Both of those keys have an F sharp and a C sharp in them, as well as all of the white notes. One is just based on F sharp and one's based on E. But the collection of notes is the same. Which is why I think it might be really cool for them to segue back into the other one. So interesting. I mean, a violin solo that draws influences from both folk influences and Western classical influences, over the top of a ritornello or an ostinato that is based in Indian classical music. It's a fascinating sound. I think they're just going to keep doing this. Billy. And everybody gets out of his way. How do you fill and keep this really intricate meter alive? How do you do that? He's doing all sorts of stuff. Meanwhile, the bass player, Rick's just back there just counting eighth notes and coming in when he needs to. An extended version of the same riff. And that's it. That was so impressive at the end. Yeah, take a breather, Billy. You did it. Just amazing musicianship. Absolutely amazing. And I don't know if I would have ever really figured out the metrical structure of if I had not had access to the score and been able to see it and go, it's in 4/4. But instead of having the eighth note start on the downbeat and end on the downbeat, the eighth notes start an eighth note earlier, and they start on the upbeat and they end on the upbeat. And that's what I was trying to figure out as I was going along there, is I would listen for the end note, which is a low E, right? And they hit the E and then one, right? But the one is an eighth note after they land on that note. And then that's how you can set up and follow them with the 4/4. And then Billy at the end, just doing that, what seems like a free form drum solo, while that meditative groove just underlies everything, and it's able to remain stable. It was really, really, really a fascinating performance. I'm glad to come back to this group. As I read in, they had different assemblies of musicians through the years, but this is the classic original lineup, and wow, great stuff. I love these little jazz fusion episodes, y'all. I think we'll keep coming back to this as long as y'all keep watching and supporting it. That's how that works. Wonderful, wonderful stuff from the Mahavishnu Orchestra. We've heard Meeting of the Spirits and You Know, both from their debut album, The Intermounting Flame, and we heard them performing it live on the BBC in 1972. Really fantastic sounds. I am happy that you have been here. This is fun. We'll see y'all next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.